like to, oh yes, we've got that. And I would like to start with, I would like to read the Division and District Mission Statement. We build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. For this Zoom meeting, it will be recorded. So as Jim said, please stop the video if you choose not to be seen. Can you stay muted unless you're asked to speak? And this is to prevent untoward background noises from interrupting the meeting. You will be muted if you go over your allotted time when speaking, perhaps 15 seconds over. Our applause is jazz hands or the reaction emoji, please. And please be aware of lighting and visible background. And if you have naked people at your house, please encourage them not to be in the background. And please don't move out of the screen during the speeches because that disturbs the speakers. And if you keep your camera on so we have a live audience, then that is going to add to the celebratory nature of our evening. So thank you very much for that. Let me just go back to a different background. Right.
Rosie, is it okay to have naked people in the foreground?
Well, you've got a black screen, so you can basically do what you like, and we will assume that you're naked, Bob. So I'd like to now move on to and introduce our chairman for the evening, former Western Division Director in 2015-16 and Gundawindi member. Our chairman tonight is Travis Nice. Oh, he was also area director in 2014-15. So can I ask you to welcome Travis, please?
Thank you, Rosie. Good evening, all. Now, ordinarily we would welcome the dignitaries, but there are so many of them with such long titles that we'd be here till 8 o'clock mentioning them all. So welcome, Toastmasters all. This evening, I do have a series of apologies that have come through from Leonard Scuderi, Bill Williams, Nigel Corish, Ben Handley, Liz Hudson, Heidi Adams, Carolyn Becker, Graham Becker, Paul McNulty, and late scratchings, Tony and Julia Hassel. And that brings us also to program changes. You'll notice that speech 8 is assigned to Tony and Julia Hassel, with them being late scratchings. We can either fill that up with some of Bob's table topics, depending on how we go on time, or I do believe Robert Green wanted to have a few extra minutes to his time as well. We may be able to fit you in there, but that is depending on how well we get to our time this evening. Now, having said all that, I will now ask Marg for a timing demonstration. I believe Jim Fazl has stuck her to the top for us.
Thank you very much, Travis. Indeed, my pleasure. I'm your timer tonight. Now, I've only got a certain amount of power because I can't get a noise. But please observe these times. 1 minute speeches will get a green light at 30 seconds, a yellow at 45 and a red at 1. When you see that yellow light, you need to start finishing up. If you're doing a 2 minute segment, the green light will come on at 1 minute, 1:30 for the amber and 2 minutes for the red. Please finish up. A 3 minute will be 2 minutes at the green, 2:30 at the amber and 3. So please keep to those times.
Thank you very much, Marg. Now, hopefully everyone has Marg pinned to their top left. If not, go find Marg and find her now, if you're a speaker, that is. Now, it is time. I hope I saw Robert Webb's name pop up again. Do we have Robert with us this time after the reboot? I'm going to take that as a no. So instead, Rosie, do you have a toast for Gundawindi Toastmasters, from the Gundawindi Toastmasters?
I do now. Robert prepared his little mini speeches for the toasts, and he used information about the international nature of Western Division, and in particular Area 31. We have 5 members in Area 31 who are international members, and they are the international members of Western Division. So this toast is to Toastmasters International. So please raise your glasses and we will toast Toastmasters International. And please feel free to keep on drinking whatever it is your happy juice until our next toast. Thank you.
To Toastmasters International. Thank you, Rosie, for leading that toast. All right, now we are officially into things proper. We got the speeches up. First speaker will be Leslie Storkey, who is our current sitting international director for Region 12. Now I don't, oh, there she, I found you on my screen. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome for speech 1, Leslie Storkey.
Thank you, Travis. Thank you, Gundawindi, and thank you, Western Division. I actually entitled my presentation tonight, Some Things Never Change. Integrity, respect, service and excellence are our 4 core values. And in fact, they should never change. We should always be aware of those. But other things never change. I'm looking around the room at some very special friends, not just members of Toastmasters, but members of my friendship, my group, who have given so much to Toastmasters, Western Division, District 69, and Toastmasters International in general. Some things never change. Graham Miller would never turn up to a meeting without wearing a tie. Bruce George would always be there with a gentle smile and ready to join in. And I could say many other things, but I only have 3 minutes, and I'm aware, Margaret, of the time in here. But some things do change, and change is important. Our last 3 years, 2 years, have been a time of incredible change for everybody around the world. And sometimes that's hard. You know, it's hard to actually change. But I ask you to reflect after 50 years on what have you changed in your life? What have you changed in your Toastmasters membership? Are you always doing what you've always done? Or do you change? Do you attempt something different? Have you gone into a new path? Have you taken on a new role? Have you mentored somebody else? It's important that we do change, but it's important that we change for the right reason, that we change not just for change's sake, but because we need to be flexible. We need to look at things in our life that need to change, things in our life that are important to reflect upon, things in our life that we need to consider before we move forward, personally, as a club and as a district and as Toastmasters International. Our organisation has changed incredibly. Some of the things we have not done well. Some of the changes have been reactive rather than proactive. But you, the member, are the ones that guide that change. You, the members, are the ones that deliver the change. And you need to look at that. Some things never change. Our core values don't change, and neither should they. But some things should change. And that's what I give to you. Think about change in your lives. Thank you, Travis.
Thank you very much, Leslie. A very prescient message given all the events of the world lately. Our next speaker on with the show, Mike Storkey is our past international president for the 2016 and 2017 term. Ladies and gentlemen, with his speech on with the show, please welcome Mike Storkey.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. And welcome to everybody on this auspicious occasion. I want to talk about two events hosted in the Western Division that really opened my eyes. And both of them were district conferences. I can remember the first district conference in the West I went to, and it was at wonderful Warwick. And I don't know if you know, but in fact, Warwick created brand new traditions. Warwick was the first conference that really celebrated on a Friday night. And I remember tasting those wines from Stanford and the Granite Belt. And yeah, maybe some of them weren't as good then as they are now, but it was a wonderful idea to get all these Toastmasters in one place on a Friday night and have an official part of the conference. I well remember when I arrived in Warwick, I was competing and I walked into the venue before it had been set up. Now, I know coming from the Northern Division, as I did at the time, that some of our venues were not the slick, wonderful hotels of the Brisbane metropolitan area, but I was not prepared for the showroom, showring, sawdust floor, accoutrements for herding cattle. And I turned around and said to Barry Fuller, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe this." And in a quiet way, Barry said, "Wait till the night, it'll be right." And how right he was. The CWA put on food that would have challenged any hotel in Brisbane. The hospitality was fantastic. And being in the table topics competition, I remember we were driven across the show ring to a set of rooms on the other side from where the contest was being held. And then we were driven across to participate. Now, to someone who was rather nervous at the time, that didn't do much for my nerves. But it was such a wonderful conference. Everybody got together. The second one I remember was my own conference hosted by the Goondiwindi Club, and the theme was Dressed in Cotton. And one of my most memorable memories was George, Bruce George, because in one part he came out dressed in a, can I say it, ladies' underwear. It was a night dress, and I've never seen Bruce look more ravishing than he did that night. But boy, did the West know how to put on a show. And I hope for the next 50 years, the West will continue on with the show. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Mike. Yes, it's always a bit of a head turner when you go to a new district, a new division that you're certainly not used to. And next on our agenda, we have a very significant milestone. 50 years in Toastmasters is certainly an achievement by any measure. And to give our 50-year member, David Bowden, congratulations, let's now hear from Bruce George, who is the past District Governor for 2010-11, also the past Western Division Governor for 97-98, and sorted area division and area director and governor roles across the years too. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bruce George.
Thanks very much, Chairman Travis, and welcome everyone. Thank you very much for those words, Leslie and Mike. Some great memories there. Thank you. But we're here tonight to not only celebrate 50 years in District 69, but we're here to celebrate an amazing man. 7th of February 1972, Toastmasters International was very fortunate that David Bowden decided to become a member. His involvement in Toastmasters over the 50 years, which he achieved just recently, it's been amazing. And I think it'd be a very hard push for anyone not to be touched by David at some stage. Whenever you walk in the room, I think you have to listen for a jolly laugh and you know you're in the room with David. David joined Rockhampton Club in 1972 and was the member there for several years until he moved to Roma. And to his shock and horror, no club existed in Roma. So he started one. And he built that club up and he supported the Western Division. And then 1996, 97, he was our Western Division governor, a great leader. He also was able to help Gundy Windy host that wonderful convention that Mike's talked about in 1998. 1992, 2000, he became the Area 31 director. And in 2003, the amazing thing happened for David. He was elected as one of the senior leaders of our district. And that was an amazing 3 years journey for David and for the District 69. In 2005, 2006, as he served as district governor, he had the pleasure of Roma Club hosting the district conference. And it was an amazing conference put on, and people travel for kilometres to be there. As I said, David stood out with his laughter. We also know he has mentored many members. And what really stands out is his enthusiasm for Toastmasters. When you're a friend of David, you're a friend of David for life. And David, it has been an honour and a privilege to know you, to be part of your team, to be mentored by you and be supported by you. And on behalf of all the members, not only of District 69, but of Toastmasters International, we congratulate you on 50 years as a Toastmasters member. And may you continue to be a member for many more years to come. Ladies and gentlemen, join with me in congratulating David Bowden, distinguished Toastmaster, Mr. Toastmaster himself. Congratulations, David.
Thank you very much, Bruce, for those kind words. And congratulations to David. And now to hear the other side of that speech, we'll now hear from David himself, who was the past district governor of 2005-2006, past Western Division governor for 96-97, and the Area 31 governor for 99-2000 year. Ladies and gentlemen, to hear the right of reply, please welcome David Bowden.
Thanks very much. I recognise all those distinguished Toastmasters listening today, and I appreciate your thoughts there, Bruce. It's interesting to think that when I tried to put all the thoughts together over 50 years, they just crowded one upon the other. A neighbour asked me to go to a Toastmasters meeting in January 1972, and I joined rather quickly. One of the reasons I joined was because I needed confidence. I'd been appointed area manager of a life people I'd like to recognise tonight, and for everybody connect with District 69, I'd like to recognise distinguished Toastmaster Bob Kenworthy, who was one of the founders of District 69 originally. It was Toastmaster Bob who used to say to me, "You can do it, Dave, you know you can." He was a Canadian, and he was one of the ones that was the driving force in District 69 way back in those days. The fact that I graduated as the Toastmaster of the Year for District 69 in 1975, I actually took that as my university. I took that as the time that I graduated, and I was able to go on to other and better things. Rockhampton Club, youth leadership, speechcraft, becoming a distinguished Toastmaster, and as has been referred to, being assisting the to get Roma District Toastmasters Club, which actually broke things in the southwestern Queensland, and so many other clubs have been formed, from that particular little incubation. I'd like to think that a lot of those things that have happened were due to a a thoughtfulness of so many Toastmasters. I'd like to think also that when I became district governor, that it really broke the ice. And I have to acknowledge Bruce George and Bill Todd. I stood 5 times over 7 years to try to get on the executive. I got more knockbacks than a drunk at a dance. However, as Bruce has already alluded to, in Townsville in 2003, after being elected, I felt so honoured and I really embraced it. I'd also like to acknowledge the fact that I was able to go to the Ralph Smedley room at one time in 2010, and I felt so great being in that particular room. People ask me, what'd you get out of Toastmasters? I'll tell you what I got out of Toastmasters. I got out of Toastmasters the ability to see that your strengths can overshadow your weaknesses, and that's done by the evaluation on the journeys. Toastmasters, thanks for the honour.
Thank you very much, David. Certainly after 50 years, congratulations for holding on for as long as you have and getting so much out of it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, next on our agenda is a speech titled Attitude by Joe Abbott. Now, I did get a message saying that their internet's a bit fuzzy out where they are, and we do have a pre-recorded version of the speech. So, ladies and gentlemen, are we going straight to the recording?
Yes.
When I started to put my ideas together for this evening, my thoughts went to, should I talk about my own personal story? However, after starting, I turned to what others around me have achieved, and was I a part of those achievements? Were they a part of my achievements? And what I have by being a Toastmaster is a result of what many people have done for me. I would like to quote a quote from Off-Parade Winfrey. Surround yourself with only people who are going to lift you higher. So my story tonight is about attitude. Confidence, self-gained confidence is very gratifying. However, seeing others treasure the rewards of self-confidence and self-esteem is beyond words. And Toastmasters give this. Safety is about being safe, unharmed in a trusted environment. And Toastmasters do this. Stability is being trusted and trustworthy, firm and reliable, making others feel safe and secure. And Toastmasters is this. Caution, being careful, taking care of those that surround us, and Toastmasters do this. Relationships are giving encouragement, the connections, the bonds between members, and Toastmasters, we experience this. Honesty is being truthful, upholding your principles and values of those and each of the other members. And Toastmasters, as Toastmasters, we do this. Independence, being in control of your own actions, your own self-determination, yet working with others, that they may express their own independence. And as Toastmasters, we do this. Fellow Toastmasters, I have been a Toastmaster for 16 years of the 50 years of this District 69 that we celebrate tonight. I'm proud to call myself a Toastmaster. I have accomplished things I would not have been able to do 16 years ago without Toastmasters and you, my fellow members. Thank you for your encouragement and support. And I trust in you that you will surround yourself with people that are lifting you higher and higher, that you and District 69 Toastmasters will flourish for many years to come. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, District 69 Toastmasters.
Thank you very much. And I can see that Joe and Jenny are online. So if you guys can hear us, thank you very much for your forward thinking and preparing that in advance. And thank you, Rosie, for managing to put all of that together. Now, it's unlike Western Division to be a little bit ahead of time, but all the same, we are moving on with speech 3 from Ben McCormick, who is the past District Governor in 2017-18 year, and the past Western Division Governor of 2014-15. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ben McCormick.
Mr. Toastmaster, if there's a topic that I'd like to cover tonight, it's wisdom, and particularly the wisdom that I've gained from Western Division. However, Marg has assured me that terrible things will happen to me if I go over the 3-minute mark. So in the need to preserve oneself, I'd go with courage. And the reason I would go with courage is not that it's exclusive to Western Division, but it's something that I have had the benefit of observing in Western Division over the past 12 years. A lack of courage is obviously undesirable. It leads to cowardness, and overabundance leads to bravado. But in the right balance, it allows people to grow, overcome, and inspire. And this is why I think courage has been such a valuable lesson to have learned from all the members of Western Division. It's such a personal journey. You never know what will take a great deal of courage for someone, because you can't take courage without knowing there are some risks, something which you find daunting, something which you're unsure as to whether you can accomplish. And so to know whether someone's shown it, you have to know the person. You have to open yourself up and to be vulnerable. And I'd say that the people in Western Division, while they have great distances to travel, are some of the most open and courageous people you will meet in Toastmasters. When they see a challenge, more often than not, they will take it on. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but Western Division has a wonderful experience of retaining members and slowly encouraging them to find their courage and to step forth and take on a new role. Whether that's their first speech in their club, whether it's their first time being a club officer, whether it's standing for area, division, or district roles. There's something very special about Western Division that touches you. There's something about the people who, they know the distance, they know the time, they know the impact it'll have onto their family, and they're not 100% sure in themselves, but they stand up and they have a go. And it's not something that you notice at first. It's in the subtle things, but it's in those little things that we do achieve great things. And Leslie said earlier that some things never change. I hope this is one that at the 100th anniversary of Western Division remains incredibly true, that courage is found in the heart and in the actions of every member of Western Division. Happy 50th birthday.
Thank you very much, Ben. Yes, very well said. Yeah, certainly it is true that each of the individual journeys is what makes up the division as a whole. So yes, some food for thought there. Thank you very much. And to tell us how we are going for time, Marg, how are we going for time?
Travis, I cannot believe this. Toastmasters are renowned for their capability of keeping on time. They're not renowned for being before time, but we are actually 5 minutes ahead of time. Now, don't all you people, I think you can go over time left, right, and centre. Good job, guys. Well done.
Thank you, Marg. Yes, well done all for keeping to your times. Thank you. All right, now something that is certainly unique to Toastmasters is table topics, and dispersed throughout the agenda this evening, Bob Goodwin has a few topics to share with us. So I am now going to hand the meeting to Bob.
Thank you, Travis. Julius Caesar is credited with the words Veni, Vidi, Vici. I came, I saw, and I conquered. Over your years in Toastmasters, we have no doubt that you came and you saw. But tell us, what have you conquered through Toastmasters? Jenny Owens.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. What have I conquered? Well, pardon me. Well, I guess that's many things in life. I think I run by the attitude that you've got to have a go at everything. So there's been, not only in Toastmasters, but throughout life, having a go at many, many crafts, having a go at many sports, and then, of course, joining Toastmasters and conquering that. And not only just in speeches, and I'm not the greatest speech maker at all, but in leadership, which is what I was able to take back through my work and be able to instill in the students that I had to mentor and to train throughout the 47 years of nursing that I did. So conquering, I think, is just something that goes part and parcel with life and getting the experiences that you have, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Jenny. All right, now we've got several toasts to get through, and I did get a message from Robert. Yes, Robert Webb says he thinks he is right. So can you hear us now, Robert?
Yes, I can, Trevor.
Wonderful, and we can hear you. So to lead the second toast to this time to District 69, please welcome Robert Webb.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And the technician didn't know what he fixed either, so we're all in the dark here. But District 69, we believe, is one of, if not the best district. The 5 districts in Region 6, in Region 12, we cover Queensland, the Northern Territory, and Papua New Guinea. So we cover a vast range of territory and also people. There's 800 clubs, 15,000 members. And so to celebrate the district, I ask you please remain seated for COVID reasons, but to charge your glasses to District 69.
District 69.
District 69.
69.
Wonderful. Thank you, Robert. All right, now this evening on with the speeches. Speech number 4 for the evening on the agenda is Robert Green, who is the incoming district director for 2021. Or is that the current sitting director for 2021-22? Pardon me for that one. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Robert Green.
Thank you, Chair. International Director Leslie Storkey, past International President Mike Storkey, past, current and future district leaders. Tonight I wanted to share a little bit about the Toastmasters journey because it's something that we all have in common. We as Toastmasters grow and evolve. That's why we joined the organisation to begin with. And I remember back in 1994 when I first walked in the doors of my first Toastmasters meeting in Western Division at the Satellite Toastmasters Club. When I first joined the Toastmasters, I was interested in myself. I think we're all interested in ourselves and what we can get out of Toastmasters as we start our Toastmasters journey. But as we come to understand the Toastmasters program and what Toastmasters offers, we become committed to living the Toastmasters promise of serving the organisation and the organisation's program. Now, in the 25 plus years I've been in Toastmasters, we've had many Toastmasters programs. I started when the Competent Toastmaster Award was 15 speeches. And we have members across the district and within your own division that can probably remember multiple programs that existed before that. As new members, we start to see the value that Toastmasters can actually offer by working the program, both in developing our communication skills and our leadership skills. But the thing that keeps us as experienced, or as Club Growth Director Denise likes to refer to us, golden Toastmasters, still involved in the organisation after many years, is not ourselves. It's not the organisation. Ask our senior district members that have been around for many years, esteemed leaders like Joe Abbott, like Bruce George, like David Bowden, why they're still involved in Toastmasters. And it's not ourselves, it's not the organisation, it's others, other people, and the opportunity to see other people learn, develop, and grow through the Toastmasters journey. Western Division has set an example for people throughout the district, through the clubs continuing to provide that positive and supportive learning environment. Our clubs within District 69 have been excelling at helping people be the best that they can be for 50 years. And I am so pleased to have the opportunity to join you for this celebration, and sincerely hope that we'll all be continuing to support others for many years to come. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Robert. Now for our next speech. Sorry, I've just rearranged everything here and lost my place. Okay, for our next speech, speech 5 comes from our district historian, Sue Pinker. And over the years, Sue has been collecting and gathering facts and figures of the history of not only Western Division for us, but also for District 69 as a whole. To hear from her now, please welcome Sue Pinker.
Unmute. Thank you, Travis, and distinguished Toastmasters. Thank you, Western Division, for celebrating 50 years of District 69. As your current district historian, I'm honoured to be able to share a tiny bit of how Western Division has contributed to the success of District 69. I don't profess to know any more than what I found out from the plethora of hard and digital copies I've inherited, but here goes. Did you know that long before District 69 was formed in 1971, that Western Division can lay claim to having the second club only in Australia and the first club ever in District 69, as we call it now? That Toowoomba Club, club number 1688, was formed in 1958. And this club, though it's now closed, can boast being sponsors for many still active clubs in District 69. For example, Brisbane Central, which then went on to sponsor another 4 clubs, which are still active, and Darling Downs, which sponsored another club, which is still active. So by 1971, 50 years ago, Western Division had played an integral part in the early beginnings of District 69. In 1971, there were no specific divisions, only areas, and it wasn't until 1989-90 that the records showed divisions changed from being numbered to being defined as Northern, Southern, Central, and Western. And at that time, the records showed there were 3 areas in Western Division, 1, 3, and 11. And your first Western Division Lieutenant Governor, as they were called at that time, was recorded as Mari Langton. Now, there have been many succeeding Western Division governors' names, and they're available on the District 69 history site. And I'm pleased to see that Bruce, David, Ben, and Joe are all here tonight. And let's not forget the contribution Western Division has made to District 69 conferences, or conventions as they used to be called. 1983, Warwick hosted the convention, and again in 1993. 1998, Gundawindi, 2002, Toowoomba, 2006, Roma, 2007, Ipswich, and Ipswich again in 2018, 2010, Inverell, 2017, Chinchilla. So I have attended quite a few of them since I joined in 1998, and I can attest to the fun and the country hospitality of Western Division people. But hey, what happens at convention stays at convention. Talk to some of the old timers to find out how much fun we did have at those Western Division conferences. So congratulations, Western Division, on hosting this night to celebrate and honour the 50-year history of District 69. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. And thank you very much for collecting all that information for us. And in a similar theme, we're going to take a walk down memory lane with Graham Miller, who himself was the past Western Division Governor for 92-93, then again 94-95, and also the Area 1 and Area 11 governors in 1991 and 92. Ladies and gentlemen, to take us down memory lane, please welcome Graham Miller.
Mr. Chairman, fellow Toastmasters, it's a pleasure to relive some memories. Most of my Toastmasters career has been in Western Division. I'm very proud to say that 32 out of my 35 years. We've just had a talk from Sue about some of the district conferences. Well, I want you to take you down memory lane and talk about some of the giants who have carried us through Western Division, because we have some great members, current and past. Back in 1993, we had the district conference at Warwick. Yes, Mike, it wasn't a showground, it was different, but it was family friendly. One of the co-organisers of that was Alan Lang, a great thinker, and he's still currently a member of Warwick Club. Do you remember 1998 at Gundawindi, following a Brahmin bull down the main street? Gee, there's a lot of bull in Toastmasters, isn't there? John Pitt was one of the organisers of that conference. I believe John is still involved with Gundawindi. 2002, the great conference at Highfields Cultural Centre near Toowoomba. And I pay great homage to Paul Marangelli, the treasurer for that conference, because we made a profit on that one of $7,000 or over $7,000. Thanks to your good work, Paul. 2006, the man from Muckadilla, David Bowden, was in charge of the Roma conference, probably the most westerly conference in our district. 2007 at Ipswich, do you remember Emeritus Professor Rowley Sussex, the great man of language? He was the guest speaker at lunchtime, went for an hour, could have gone for 3 hours. He held everybody in the palm of his hand. Sue just mentioned 2010 at Inverell. I had it down as 2011. Bruce George was our district governor at the time, and this was the last district conference I believe we held in New South Wales. Now, of course, Inverell has moved over to District 80. 2017 is memorable because we met at Chinchilla, and there was a certain lady who did her international speech, not once, not twice, but 3 times. Yes, Marilyn Freeman. We had a bit of a sound problem. Marilyn eventually went on to win that contest. And then in 2018, we went back to Ipswich for a conference. And the thing I remember about that was a certain speaker in the table tubbies contest had a heart attack after the contest. But luckily there were some great Toastmasters, some nurses there to save him, and one was Ros Close. So you can always rely on Toastmasters. Let us continue for many more years, and I wonder where the next district conference will be held in Western Division. There's a challenge for you all. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Graham. There's certainly a long memory lane there. Now, coming up next, we've got John Pitt, who is with Robert Webb on your screens. Unfortunately, I've lost video and we won't be able to see his handsome face. Now, John is Western Division Governor from 93-94 and again 95-96. and then Area 12 Governor in 92-93. Ladies and gentlemen, for his speech, please welcome John Pitt.
District 69 governors, past and present, Western Division governors and area governors, Mr. Chairman and fellow Toastmasters. Oh, wow, what a great district, District 69. I am, the people that don't know me, well, I'm pleased. The people that do know me, I do apologise now for it before I start. John Pitt's my name, Western Division Governor, Area 12 Governor, a charter member and inaugural president of Gundawindi Toastmasters. And I can remember some years ago, a chap from Warwick by the name of, I'll think of his name very shortly, Doug Scott, rang Gundawindi to a friend of mine, Janine Atwell, and asked were we interested in starting or information on a Toastmasters club. Janine came and seen me and a couple of other people, and we agreed to have the meeting. That particular night, Doug Scott rolled up at the RSL club with two other members from Warwick Club. And I'll never forget the look on his eyes when he walked in. We had 61 people in that audience to welcome Doug Scott and to learn about Toastmasters. Doug introduced himself and his fellow members, explained Toastmasters to us, explained the reason of Toastmasters, what benefits we get out of it, the educational side, and all the benefits of Toastmasters. Not an eye left Doug. They were all interested. He explained the meetings, how meetings were run, the speeches, the evaluations and table topics. Then all of a sudden that big word came out, table topics. 61 people's eyes hit the walls, hit the ceilings, hit the floors. They didn't look at Doug. And who was the first name called out for table topics? Me. I can't remember the topic, but I can remember I rambled on for 2.5 minutes, knew nothing what I was saying. After the table topic was finished, standing ovation. The crowd went wild. No, not really. They laughed as much as I did. Doug and his members left our meeting. Thanked us very much for holding it. And that particular night, we signed up 42 members to start Gundawindi Toastmasters. 42 members. I was then asked after 3 months of being a Toastmaster, would I run for area governor? I had to pull the reins on that one. No information. Didn't know much about Toastmasters. So we had to let that go. But I remember some people vividly from Toastmasters who gave me some great advice. Barry Fuller, ex-69 district governor. After a few barbecues and a few cold lemonades at his place, he said to me once, John, he said, if you love something the way you love Toastmasters, if you're keen, interested to learn more, to be involved in Toastmasters, you have no trouble selling that particular product. So he said, get out and sell it. But one thing you must remember, when you're in Toastmasters meeting, respect Toastmasters, but always have fun. Fun is most important. So we did. We went out. I became area governor 12 months later and recognised the hard work that was involved. The travelling, the distance, working 14 hours a day, and the nearest club was 5.5 hours return trip. We put a big box to that. Barry said, get out and let the word go, and I did. Moree, we chartered and started Moree first club within months. Followed by Inverell, and thank goodness for George, Bruce George. He was an inspiration. He was the drive of starting Inverell Toastmasters. And thank you, George, for your efforts. We started Inverell. We started another club called Warrialda. Then we became Area 25. But then it made it easier for me. I had more sleep. I had more time with my family. But not only me, I was thinking of the area governor to follow. So those words stuck with me from Barry Fuller. If you love something, get out, let people know about it, sell it. You'll have no trouble selling it. Congratulations, District 69, and I wish you all the health, benefits, and good, happy birthday. Congratulations.
Thank you, John. Thank you for being able to join us this evening. Now, I can see from the agenda we're running quite well, but Marg, can you confirm how we are going for time?
Missed the button. Yes, Travis, I can let you know that we are well and truly on time. the last couple of speeches, I'm giving them a little bit more poetic license because let's face it, no one wants another table topic from Bob Goodwin. So yes, we are well and truly on time. I've got 7:20. We should be at 7:26.
Thank you very much, Marg. I don't know how Bob's going to feel about this. Don't want another table topic from Bob, because now we're going to have another table topic from Bob. Bob, please take the stage.
Yes, thank you, Travis. Alas, poor Yorick. Can you hear me? Can people hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Yep, thank you. Alas, poor Yorick, I knew him well, said Shakespeare's Hamlet, as he communed with the ghost of his past. Tell us of a ghost that you can recall from Toastmasters of long ago. David Bowden.
It's true, there are so many ghosts, and they meant so much to District 69 in their time. I've referred to Bob Kenworthy, a great Canadian, a great person, a great advocate for Toastmasters International. All those people that were connected with District 69 when they first started, all those radio announcers in Brisbane who really pushed the Toastmasters way, they're ghosts to a lot of people. And there's a lot of people listening tonight who would not even understand or appreciate the hard work that they did from Brisbane, to push the District 69 so far, so fast. And I'm so proud to probably actually been stood in stand in the shadows of so many great men and women. I was part of the time when there was only men in Toastmasters International, and I happened to be in 2 clubs in Rockhampton who fought tooth and nail not to allow ladies to come in. And I'm here to tell you that the ghosts of people like that joined both Keyman and Rockhampton Toastmasters Club, those ladies really set a foundation, and they made the men actually stand up and take notice. I welcome the fact that we've got ghosts in District 69 Toastmasters.
Thank you very much, David, and thank you very much, Bob. Now for our next toast. This toast will be to Western Division and led by Robert Webb. Robert.
Thank you, Chairman Travis. We heard from Sue some of the history in the 4 divisions in District 69. We're in Western Division, which I think we'd all agree is probably the premier division. Presently, we have 4 areas in it, 1, 11, 12 and 31, and Gundawindi's been in 3 of them. I think the speaking, listening, thinking, enhancing leadership potential is what Toastmasters is all about. And I believe we have a worldwide cover, and 5 international members are here in Western Division, which just goes to show what a great organisation it is and how people learn so much about leadership. So please remain seating and charge your glasses to Western Division.
The Western Division.
Western Division. Back to you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Robert, and thank you very much for leading those toasts. And now to respond to that toast on behalf of Western Division is our current sitting Western Division Director, Jim Fazl. Jim.
Thank you, Travis, and welcome to all the guests who have come tonight. Firstly, I would like to pick up on something Robert has said. Robert said we were the premier division with leadership potential and a worldwide cover. I believe that is such an important thing for Western Division, because Western Division, one of the big things we believe in is equality, but not equality really in the traditional sense, more equality of opportunity. We here in Western Division are key to give everybody the equality of opportunity to thrive and grow. As has been previously said throughout this meeting, it doesn't matter really who you are. If you're someone new coming into Toastmasters without that much experience, or an experienced member of 50 years, we all have that equality of opportunity to thrive and grow through Toastmasters, to forward our club mission, to improve our communication and leadership skills, as well as to forward the district mission, which is building new clubs and supporting all clubs through achieving excellence. And that's something Western Division has done very well in the past. If we look at certain areas, Toowoomba, for example, there've been huge push and huge growth in Toowoomba over the past 50 years. Toastmasters in Queensland started in Toowoomba, and look at it now. It's so big that it's grown into 2 areas, and who knows where it could go to from there. And lots of great members in Toowoomba. We've also had a large number of division conferences in Toowoomba. I personally remember the last division conference we had at the big hotel in Toowoomba, ran by former member Warren Hayden. It was an absolutely fantastic event, a massive gala event where we all had great fun and all the Toastmasters could get together. And we fought the one issue we have, the one big tyranny, the one thing on our back, distance. We all fought against distance and we all came together for a great event, just like we have today. All come together for a great event to celebrate Toastmasters and every single member here. It doesn't really matter if you're a area director, division director, or just a member. You're all very important and we all are learning and growing. And I'd like to congratulate Western Division for 50 years, and hopefully in 50 years' time, probably with more grey hair than I have now, being able to charge our glass again and say congratulations for 100 years of Toastmasters. Back to you, Travis.
Thank you very much, Jim. Well said. Now, what would a celebration be if we didn't have a cake cutting? And it's a little difficult to do these over Zoom, but Rosie has prepared a PowerPoint of greetings, photos, and a cake cutting. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll now claim your attention to Rosie Pfitzner's screen.
The thing that looks like a screen up toward the top left, Rosie.
Otherwise, pressing F5 should make it to full screen.
Unmute, Rose.
Sorry about this, people. And slideshow. So what am I not doing? Somebody can help me.
Over on the left from beginning. Down
From
there.
the beginning. Oh, okay. You can tell that I am not very cognizant with PowerPoint. It's just a new purchase for me. So, cheers from Western Division. And if I just, here we go. Can we actually see this? Toastmasters around the area are congratulating, and of course, Gundawindi Toastmasters as well. This is from Northern Nomads, the Advanced Club in Area 31. None of the Lockyer Valley Toastmasters couldn't be here this evening, but they sent this greeting. And congratulations to David Bowden. We seem to be focusing a little bit on David, so that's just absolutely wonderful. And now we're going to look at some photos from his photo album. In the boardroom, International USA, Toastmasters International in 2010, I believe this was. And in August 2005, where he's been congratulated by the international president. The Ralph Smedley room, photos that he took of that. First 2 district governors from Western Division, of course, that's Bruce George and David Bowden. And here we have Jenny and Joe Abbott and David and his wife, Lynn. Oh, I popped this one in because we might recognise Robert Green here. We did have a cake, thank you very much. It was a wonderful cake and we had that last Thursday. So there's the Gundawindi Charter members, John Pitt and Robert Webb cutting the cake. And of course we raised a toast and of course we shared the cake and it was very, very nice. We're also congratulating Stanthorpe Toastmasters Club for 50 years. And thank you to Mike Storkey for joining us tonight, our past international president. Congratulations, District 69 for 50 years, well done. And of course, thank you, Ralph Smedley, for starting it all off. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rosie. Thank you for putting all that together, and thank you to all the clubs, whether you're here or not. I'm sure the message will get out to you. Thank you for your submissions. Now on with the program. As I said at the beginning, Tony and Julia Hassel have pulled out this evening, but Bob Goodwin has a few extra table topics up his sleeve. So for one extra table topic, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bob.
Thank you. Homer Simpson said, "Trying is the first step towards failure." To tell us why this is not so in Toastmasters, I wondered if our guest, Marcia, may care to tackle that. Marcia, are you online there?
My pleasure, Mr. Table Topic Master. Fellow Toastmasters, trying is not the first step to failure. Trying is the first step to success. There is a saying, if you don't know, you teach. And if you are not, you pretend until you become. I joined Toastmasters almost 10 years ago because English is not my first language. And it's amazing to me now to make friends with people all over the world and to be here for such a heartwarming celebration. So yes, trying is the first step to success. Mr. Table Topic Master.
Thank you very much, Marsha, and thank you, Bob. Now, we heard during the slideshow that Stanthorpe Toastmasters are also celebrating 50 years, and to now give a speech of congratulations to the Stanthorpe Club, please welcome their current sitting president, Keith Barnett.
Thank you, Travis. I am sitting, but I would like to point out that I'm not the current president of Stanthorpe Toastmasters. That role is currently taken by Margot Tesh, and she told me that if I didn't say this tonight, she would make me do all the table topics at our next meeting. So I've done that, so Margot can now take that off my shoulders. Fellow Toastmasters, a 50th birthday is always a great reason to celebrate. And sometimes that milestone might be unexpected. But given the number of Toastmasters worldwide and the good that they and their clubs do in the community, it is certainly should come as no surprise that District 69 and Stanthorpe Toastmasters have achieved this goal. Stanthorpe Toastmasters chartered on the 1st of October 1972, and I can only imagine how different it would have been then to organise the speakers, evaluators, and other roles needed to successfully run a meeting. Today, we have the Easy Speak system, along with emails, text, and messages. And I thought it was relatively easy to organise a meeting these days, although I know our VPE does get frustrated sometimes when things don't go to plan. Someone I never saw frustrated was Nev Strutt. Nev was a charter member of Stanthorpe Toastmasters, and along with his wife Margaret, they kept the club running for well over 30 years. When I first came to Stanthorpe in the early 2000s, the club met at the Stanthorpe Junior School. We would all sit on little chairs at little desks with our knees around our ears and absorb the knowledge that Nev and Margaret passed on to us at each meeting. Nev was very keen on passing his knowledge on to youngsters too, and every year he made sure that the club ran a youth leadership course, and he was quite hard on the children sometimes. They had to get it exactly correct, or he would stop them in mid-sentence and correct them. Sadly, Nev and Margaret became too old and too unwell to continue attending our meetings, but I'm sure they will both be looking down at us when we celebrate our 50th anniversary in October this year. You, of course, will hopefully not be looking down at us, but will be there in person to help us celebrate this milestone. And we will be getting more information to you shortly in this regard. Travis.
Thank you very much, Keith. And you can pass on to Margot that there are more than 39 witnesses, and we can get you down to at least one table topic next time. Thank you for that correction.
Thank you.
Now to hear from the eastern side of Western Division, the current Area 12 Director, Brock McIntyre, for Speech 9. Brock.
Thank you, Travis. I just want to start by saying I feel so honoured to be in the presence of such esteemed Toastmasters from Western Division, and it's fabulous to be celebrating 50 years tonight. I want to build on what Sue was talking about earlier in regards to Toastmasters in Toowoomba, and just to give you a bit more of a background, because Toowoomba is where it started for our division. And the first club was Toowoomba Toastmasters, which chartered in January 1958, and it came from the idea of Doug Power, who'd been in Canada and had got the Toastmaster experience from over there. So it just goes to show how worldwide Toastmasters is even back then. But when Doug returned from visiting family over there, he really wanted to get Toastmasters up and running. And so from that came the Toowoomba Toastmasters Club. Unfortunately, the club disbanded in 1986. It was re-picked up in October 1995 because Toowoomba Toastmasters was such a long tradition that it was a shame that we didn't have a club. The first president at that time was Judith Bateman. But in February 2020, the club decided to close and hand back its charter. So it's had a bit of a checkered history, you might say. But under the leadership of Marg Marshall, the club has reopened recently as of April 2020. And the club meets fortnightly. There's currently 9 members, and we're trying to grow it and get it back on track to the success that it has once enjoyed. The other club I want to talk about actually comes from Area 1, but it's the Darling Downs Club in Toowoomba, which chartered 1 June 1963. The Darling Downs Club is still operational, so it makes the club the oldest operational club in Western Division. And next year is the 60th year anniversary for Darling Downs, something to be celebrated. Some other upcoming highlights. Well, in Area 12, Southern Cross celebrates 40 years in June this year, and TT Toastmasters will celebrate 10 years in April. For me, it's been an absolute pleasure being area director. I remember when I first started Toastmasters, I couldn't string 2 words together, but there's so many members I see on this chat tonight which have greatly impacted me. I want to reach out to a couple of people, and one was Joe Abbott. When Joe was district governor back then, he asked me to be district finance manager. And I said, look, Joe, I'm still struggling with being able to make a speech. And Joe said to me, just have a crack, mate. That's all he said, just have a crack at it. And I've taken those words that Joe imparted, and I've used that throughout my life ever since he said it to me. And I actually said it to my wife when I first met her. I walked up to her and I asked her out, and I said, you know, I was so nervous coming up, but I just remember these words, just have a crack. And that's what Toastmasters is about. It's just having a crack, having a go. And as Jim said, it's great to celebrate 50 years, but I want to be here to ensure we celebrate 100 years together, Jim. So cheers to the celebration. Back to you, Travis.
Thank you very much, Brock. Yeah, it never ceases to amaze me just quite the impact that Toastmasters has on our personal lives. Now to hear from the Western end of Western Division, I'm going to pass to Michelle Forsyth, who is our current Area 31 Director. Michelle.
Thank you, Chairman Travis. Welcome to everyone. It's great being in the company of so many accomplished members, and I'm overwhelmed by so far everyone's contribution. Coming together, honoring traditions, while empowering new generations of people toward growth is wonderful to me. I knew nothing of Toastmasters International Organization, districts, or divisions, only that I was going out with a friend for the evening. I joined Toastmasters September 2018. I served first as VP-PR and then as my term for VPE. I got a little taste of forward thinking, working as a team, networking, and my favorite so far is interacting with other clubs. From that role, I went on to our club president, which has opened me up to even more support, knowledge, and responsibility. Lately, I have faced some challenges, but I believe this speaking with fellow members for advice have led me on to at least 2 other members that can help. In reaching out more and more, I have risen up through learning and communication. It has been my privilege as Area 31, and I'm still being overwhelmed and rewarded and watching other people achieve their goals too. I chose a leadership pathway and have taken on 2 more since. Happy birthday, District 69. I've missed 49 of them, but all the best for the next 50 to come, where we continue working together and supporting one another. Thank you, Toastmaster Travis.
Thank you very much, Michelle, and I'll drink to that too. All right, well, Marg, we look like we're a little bit ahead of time, but how are we going for time?
Miracles of all miracles. That bunch of Toastmasters can get together and manage to stay on time. I think this is the most memorable thing I'll take from 50 years in District 69 is everyone staying on time. So Bob Goodman gets to go off and do whatever he wants to do, but yes, we are on time. It's 7:44. We've got 10 minutes up our sleeves. Woo.
I think that we may have set a precedence there. Thank you very much, Marg. And where would we be if we didn't have table topics? So to take us out for this evening for one final table topic, I'll now ask Bob Goodwin to take the microphone.
Thank you, Travis. From Star Trek, Captain Kirk said, "I don't believe in a no-win scenario." Do you believe that this applies in Toastmasters? I don't believe in a no-win scenario. Paul Marangelli.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, I've been having tech problems. My video and sound has been freezing on me on and off, so I'm using the mobile at the moment. Look, I don't believe there is any no-win aspect to Toastmasters at all, because everything we do in Toastmasters has a wonderful benefit for everyone. And I've had the privilege of experiencing that for myself and also seeing it. amongst a lot of people over many years. And I think the one thing that I think sustains a lot of members who've been in the organisation a long time is the fact that they do see results, not just within themselves, but within their fellow members and also within the organisation. So at the end of the day, we all become better people as a result. And one of the greatest things I think that we do achieve, and what is a big winner, I think, for the organisation, is the wonderful relationships that people build with each other. So I think, yeah, it's win-win everywhere, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Paul. And
I do
thank you
have
very
another
much.
one.
Oh, you want another one, Bob?
Well, I mean, I can present it. Someone else has to talk to it.
The floor is yours.
Betty White of the Golden Girls said, Facebook is a wonderful way to connect with old friends. Well, at my age, if I want to connect with old friends, I need a Ouija board. Tell us of some of your old friends from Toastmasters, Leslie Storkey.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Mr. Topics Master. I thought you were going to ask me to speak on behalf of Facebook, and I would have hated to do that. Connecting with old friends, you know, that's one of the hardest things. Zoom is wonderful, and we have certainly embraced the use of it, and we've been able to visit people around the world, but it's just not the same. I love to hug. You know, we had people for lunch today. It's the first time we've had an in-person lunch for many times. They all happen to be Toastmasters because all our friends happen to be Toastmasters, but, you know, that's life. But I miss the friends from overseas. I miss the fact that when we go to district conferences, we walk into a room and we know everybody and we reconnect with old friends, but we make so many new friends. I am disappointed in the fact that I can't talk enough and connect with past International Director Claire Murphy from the North, from members around the country, from members in New Zealand. And in fact, I have not done one visit as an international director in my 18 months now on the board because of our restrictions. And we do need to stay safe. But Facebook's all very well, but it just doesn't cut it for me. And if I could pick up the phone and connect, that's slightly better. But any opportunity we can have to connect with people, particularly old friends, and making new ones, we need to embrace that. And we need to make sure we do it. And I'm hoping Nashville happens, because I'm hoping I will see some of you there and really connect with them and you in person. Thank you, Mr. Topics Master.
Thank you, Leslie, and thank you, Bob, by the sound of that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now before we go to our closing remarks, Rosie has asked if we can do a photo opportunity, which is going to be a bit tricky because there's at least 2 screens in gallery view on my machine. So I'm going to hand over to Rosie to get us all smiling.
Get us all smiling. So I'm just going to be taking shots on my phone, but I invite all of you or any of you who want to take some shots, then please do. So if everybody can at least look a little bit friendly and smiling. I don't want waving hands or anything, and a lot of us have got virtual backgrounds, but if you can smile, then I will take a few shots, please. And we'll get them going on both screens. So we're only up to 2 screens. There we go. I apologise for the phone ringing in the background. That's an overseas call. So has everybody got their photos? Thank you very much. Over to you, Travis.
Thank you, Rosie, and that was good thinking for posterity. And just before I hand over to Robert before the official closing of this meeting, Jim has asked for another 1 minute. So Jim, floor is yours.
Thank you, Travis. Firstly, I will share screen very quickly. Just to check, can anyone speak up now if your club name is not on the list? If you're from a club, your home club is not on this list.
If you want to add Leading Edge and Crest, I'm here from all three.
I'll pick one, which is your home club.
You got 4X, that'll do.
Okay. Any others? Thank you. Secondly, I would like to mention one very important person. For without this one person, tonight would not have been possible. The core instigator for the event. And when I asked her to say, would you be interested in this event? She put her hand up and said, yes, please, I'll take it on. That is Rosie Pfitzner from Gundurindi Club. So can we all give a huge congratulations to Rosie for putting on this great event?
Congratulations.
Thank you, Rosie.
Thank you.
Well done, Rosie.
I called myself the chief short straw drawer, so it wasn't all enthusiastic, was it, Jim?
And with that, I'll hand back to Travis and hope to see you all next week at the Western Division Conference out at Stanthorpe. Back to you, Travis.
Thank you very much. Thank you there, Jim. And yes, likewise, thank you, Rosie, for all that you've done. We can always count on Rosie. Now, to close out the meeting officially, I'll hand over to Robert Webb, and then after that, you are free to linger and chat with each other on Zoom as best as Zoom can do. So, ladies and gentlemen, Robert Webb will close us out.
Thank you, Travis. Yes, we're still having a few technological problems here, and I regret having missed the start of it. What I have heard has been very interesting and most informative. Some of the reminiscing and the history from Sue was all great. I believe everybody would have thoroughly enjoyed it. The biggest disappointment about the evening, in my opinion, is that we didn't cut the cake here, and Gundurindi drew a short straw and had to cut the cake last week. Now, Rosie showed you a picture of the cake. She said it was smaller than usual to save a little money because I have to be the treasurer and I keep harping on that. But we all had a slice, and when we'd all had a slice, we'd debate as to what we would do with all the cake that was left over. And so we carved it into 4 slabs, I guess you would say, about that size. And as I took mine home, I thought of Toastmasters in general and one Toastmaster in particular. And let me assure you, Bruce, it was extremely nice. I'd echo Jim's comment. Thank you very much, Rosie, for doing a great effort to get the whole show on the road. And while it is very sad to be closing the official function, the good news is that 2024 is only 2 years away, and we may perhaps somebody in authority pick it up, and it would be Toastmasters' 100th birthday. So while it's sad to be closing tonight, it is a historic event, 50 years for District 69, but in 2 years' time, it'll be 100 for Toastmasters International. So I look forward and hope you're all there that evening. Thank you, Chairman Travis.
Thank you very much, Robert, and thank you, attendees all. This officially closes the meeting 5 minutes early. Well done, Toastmasters and speakers all, for your vigilance at staying to time. And well, the official is now over, and there's this is the difficult part with Zoom. There's no sort of standing up and getting around and mingling. So do the virtual equivalent of standing up and mingling, and you're free to leave at any time from now.
Just to let everybody know, thank you, Travis. I'll put in the chat box the flyer for the Western Division Conference as a reminder.
As Bob Hudson sang in the Newcastle song, "Don't you ever let a chance go by, oh Lord, don't you ever let a chance go by." Well done, Jim.
And congrats all. Great night. What fun.
Congratulations. Bye, Rosie. Bye, everybody. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.